Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week, and we are very, very happy to present our show to you, Speak of Africa. Speak of Africa, we've told you, we got this title from William Shakespeare's Henry IV, because at the time, people were looking at Africa like a land of plenty, a land of wonder, where all the minerals are. Africa is still a land of minerals. So we should even be speaking of an African dream. But we don't. Africa is a very rich continent. We've told you this so many times. Unfortunately, Africans are poor. Africans are poor because they allow foreigners to steal their resources. That's the problem Africa is facing today. And Africans are suffering as a result. We want people to start talking about Africa, speak of Africa's wealth. So Africa's wealth should be for Africans. Africans have to rise up and start challenging their leaders, their coconut heads, so that they can use resources for their own people. Why should foreigners be taking what Africa has? Africa should not be for the taking. It's very, very sad. When you look at the news this week, as you know, we always follow geopolitics. The way things are shaping themselves this week in Africa, the big powers are very, very interested in Africa. China, the United States of America, Russia, France, they are all interested in Africa's resources. But they don't care about Africans. They may pretend as if they care about Africans, they don't. They care about Africa's resources. That's the point. And we want to use this show to educate Africans to understand. We want to raise your level of perception, your consciousness, so that you should know that you need to be ready to do things for yourself. Westerners are not going to help you. Russians are not going to help you. The Chinese are not going to help you. You have to help yourself. So self-reliance is the philosophy Africans need to adopt if Africans want to move forward. Otherwise, we'll continue to be beggars in the international community. People will continue laughing at us, even though our continent owns the most resources on earth. Why are we poor? It's because we have leaders who are very gullible. They are greedy. They are blacklegs. They are sellouts. They are stooges. People come to the continent, they make bad deals with them, and they loot all our resources. They give them a little bit of money to put in Swiss bank accounts. They don't work for Africans. When you look at a typical European country, the leader works for the people of that country. Look at Emmanuel Macron, for example. Last week, he went to La République du Cameroon, Bia's kingdom. Why did he go there? Is it because he loved Cameroonians? It's true. You can see pictures of Emmanuel Macron dancing with the people, but he's just playing a role. I look at him like an actor. He's just playing a role to please the people. He plays his game. So he's very, very suave. Okay? He looks young. You think that, oh, this is a nicer guy. No, he's the same bad guy. You look at all the leaders that Mr. Biya has been dealing with from the time of François Mitterrand up to present day. They're all the same. Frank Afrique. Everything has to be based on French interests. A French president will never leave the Élysée Palace to a 2D for nothing. If he just wants to deal with regime change, he can do that from the comfort of his office. But when he wants to make sure that the French interests are taken care of, he travels to make sure that he gets what he wants. Okay? That's why Emmanuel Macron was in Yaoundé. But before we go there, let's go now to Ambazonia. In Ambazonia, as we can tell you, a lot of things are happening. There's a lot of killing on both sides. The Bias B come and kill people. Then the B also kills people in many places. Then the Ambazonia Restoration Forces retaliate. So it's like tit for tat. You do this to me, I do that to you. So it's just like what is happening in that part of the world. But when will Mr. Biya get the knowledge that this needs to stop? It looks like Emmanuel Macron is even advising him to think about a form of dialogue and decentralization. But Mr. Biya doesn't, it seems he has lost his faculties. So I don't think he's even reasoning well. You look at the interview with Emmanuel Macron, the press conference. The guy cannot even think. You ask yourself, why are you president if you cannot even think? Yet, even this morning, we're just getting the news that you guys sent to us. More Ambazonia generals were killed in the Bamenda area. Is this going to stop the dream? The dream of independence is alive. It will never die. You can even see killing those generals will not change anything. Instead, you are emboldening the people to continue fighting. So killing them is a waste of time. Okay? You look at some of the young children. We have a video we want to share with you. The young children are already singing the anthem of Ambazonia. Take a minute and watch the video.
Well, continue watching the national anthem. Yes. 1, 2, ready, go!
And of course, there's a lot of action in Ambazonia. Field Marshal Ten Kobo of Indian. There's a video some of you guys sent to us where his guys are active. The La Republique guys went to look for him. Instead, the hunter became hunted. Okay? The guys killed those La Republique soldiers and took away their weapons. Take a look at the video from the Field Marshal of Indian, Ten Kobo.
Expendable.
100.
Expendable.
100.
Indian.
Warriors.
Yes, my people. See. Yes, yesterday, the 7th, for number 7 months. Yesterday, na Thursday, we began some attack for Berengue Ekwe route. With that military, they said, I can't find Free Marshal Ten Kobo. But God be punished, they say, Free Marshal no be there. Now, general, when I focus with day. So, now there's small harvest in this way, I be harvest. Well, I say my show, my pa. So, na see. Now the harvest in this, that the nyam that tin and that parade that are close with a small 2 and Kalash 1 AK with a magazine. Now we see another nyam faces the military. I face that some dock. When I come out the tonton, so I can find Free Marshal Ten Kobo. We no say it get lie on them. So same just suck do under blood. So now the small harvest in this way. General focus. Don't do it with your boys. Expendable.
100.
Expendable.
100.
Joy no day our face. No be so.
Joy no
Yes.
day.
Don't decide say no joy no day. Any way cancel I can find Free Marshal Ten Kobo. They no see you can't find I die. No be na so.
Na so, General.
Yes.
Then, of course, La Republique also had a lot of losses. When they killed one Ambazonian guy, their black legs will put a video all over the social media, make a lot of noise about it. But when the big guys are killed, they start crying. So just know that when you kill my people, I kill your people. That's just the ugly side of war.
Yes. Atalad, when I see battalion, no? We're there for here with the Paano PT, General Maddock, General Agomo, all man day for here. So a wonderful fight this, where we don't make them. This
is not there for there.
Yes.
This is the unity warrior of Banso of Bui. No shake, no ekenebe, you come not go. Now we don't talk.
You be here?
And Dibana water.
Yeah, we're there for here live. Biame, live.
Today, we're also bringing you news of Esama Eyenga, a commandant who was killed in Kumba. People may tell you that, oh no, we've neutralized all these Amba boys, they are not dangerous anymore. It's a lie. The international community should not be listening to lies. That's why this show is for you. We tell you the truth, what is happening on the ground. We can tell you the truth because we have people on the ground who feed us information every day. And we thank you very much for sharing information with us so that we can have this show. We may be very far in the United States of America, but we have people who share information with us on a daily basis. Okay? So, Esama Eyenga was killed in Kumba. He thought the place was safe. He's a B commandant. They took him out. So, and they will continue taking him out because the place is dangerous. So don't let anybody fool you. The place is not back to normalcy. It's a lie. It's not back to normalcy. It's dangerous. And that's what you people are telling us on the ground, that the place is dangerous. And there is also so much happening with General Aroke. In fact, there's so much information dealing with General Aroke, and this week it was just filled with news about what is happening between General Aroke in Boyo and the people, a lot of accusations. So we don't really have all the facts. So we don't want to report the wrong news. But we can tell you that General Aroke has been one of the popular generals in Ambazonia, and people have been complaining, and it looks like there was a plot to take him out by some of the guys in the ADF, such as Capo Daniel and Bonga. So this news has really been unsettling a lot of people who love General Aroke. Some people accuse General Aroke of killing or tormenting civilians.
Today, the 18th of July, 2022, I have come out to pay homage to our fallen heroes, our brothers in arms, Field Marshal Oliver and Major General A4 of the 7th Qatar, not forgetting Mama G and the rest of the soldiers that we have lost in the course of fighting to liberate homeland. Dear people of Ambazonia, today the 18th of July is the day I have chosen to come out to tell the Ambazonian people that I, General Aroke, my life is at stake. We have uncovered another plot, another conspiracy of the La République de Cameroon, agents hiding within our ranks to eliminate me and some of the generals we have here in Boyo. I want to also take this opportunity to tell the Amazonian people that I, General Aroke, have never executed any civilian. I do not maltreat my civilians. I do not extort money from any civilian. I've never done that.
So we don't really have the facts. So we don't like to report on what we are not sure of. So we're going to get more information next week. Then we'll let you know what is really happening in Ambazonia. But it looks like the dream of independence for the people of Ambazonia is deferred, is almost derailed. So do we need to get back on track? That's what the people need to do. They need to get things back on track. For La République, things are not better anywhere. The president of France. There was a lot of fanfare. For one, Yannick Noah, the popular tennis player who has become an entertainer now, was entertaining Emmanuel Macron. And we'll have a video to show you where there's a whole lot of dancing ladies. You can see Macron losing up, dancing and shaking. Like we're just watching the video, and you can even see Yannick Noah also dancing. But all is not well, because when you look amid this dancing, the people are complaining. The visit of Emmanuel Macron was not well received because some of those people to the area were crying because their houses were destroyed by the police. The police brought caterpillars and they destroyed their houses, and the people were in the streets. We have at least 2 videos. We can show you where the people are complaining. Look at the first video where the people are complaining.
Baba, voilà ça, tout est dehors. Baba, tout est dehors. S'il n'y avait pas les gens qui sont venus mettre les mains sur la tête, on allait tout casser de ça.
Voilà ma barrière qui a été cassée. Voilà la devanture qui a été cassée. Est-ce qu'on ne pouvait pas me demander de peindre? ou de balayer. Moi, je comprends rien. Je ne sais pas pourquoi est-ce qu'aujourd'hui, c'est une barrière qui a été montée dans les normes. C'est pas aujourd'hui, on doit venir, on demande aux gens de nettoyer parce que le président français arrive.
Thank you. Look at the second video where the people are complaining that they've demolished their houses and they don't know where to take their children. Watch it.
Merci quand même au président français qui vient aujourd'hui. On menace la vie des Camerounais pour une visite de 1 jour. Il n'y a pas de problème. Tout ce que Dieu fait est bien. Bon, je n'ai rien à dire beaucoup.
Within this backdrop, there is also the pomp of the press conference in Etudi, where Mr. Paul Biya made a fool of himself. A French journalist is asking him questions, he could not even answer the questions. By contrast, the Cameroon journalists were even afraid to ask him any questions, because Biya is a king. How dare you ask a question to the king? So it was just like a lot of punishment for Paul Biya to be out there with Emmanuel Macron. Emmanuel Macron is youthful. This is what he does all the time. He deals with the press all the time. Mr. Biya never delivers any press conference. So this was something really strange, something he's not really used to doing. And he suffered through the process. A lot of times it's like, oh, I've not heard the question well. Can you repeat the question? Then sometimes Emmanuel Macron will try to interpret the question to him or paraphrase it so that he can understand it. Then you say to yourself, but you can tell that this is a guy who is really masterminding the genocide that is going on in Ambazonia. There's no mistake about it. This is the bad guy, Paul Biya. Then of course, you can see the way his son, Frank Biya, is already acting as the future king. The father is the king of the kingdom of La République du Cameroon. He's going to take over the kingdom. You can see that going on. It's only in a banana republic can you have stuff like this. Then at the same time, as we're coming to the studio to tape this show, some of you guys sent us a video of a criminal, the former Minister of Energy and Water, Atangana Kuna. He's released from Kondenge prison amid fanfare. Where in the world have you seen people releasing a criminal from prison and they are clapping for him and there's a lot of fanfare? Only in a shithole country. I'm sorry to say it. So it's very, very sad. We think we've given you enough information on the visit of Emmanuel Macron, but we think there's nothing positive for the people of Cameroon. There's even a lady, a francophone lady, speaking in French, justifying why the Anglophones have a right to protest against the dictatorship of Paul Biya.
L'histoire a commencé devant nous comme ça. Ça fait des années qu'ils sont marginalisés. Ils sont marginalisés depuis. Personne ne dit rien. Ils essayent même de parler le français, on les insulte avec. On vous couvre, vous gonfle, vous, les anglophones, essayez de parler le français, on se moquait même d'eux.
You may not understand French, but what the lady is really saying is the Biya government is to blame. Even Thibon Nagy, the former Mr. Africa of the United States of America, chipped in and said Mr. Biya blundered by beating the lawyers and the students during the protests. He brought this up to himself and he did not correct course up to now. He organized a fake dialogue, so now it's time for real dialogue, real decentralization. But will he do it? We doubt it. So let's move to the next country, Benin. Benin is a small country. Emmanuel Macron also visited. But you could already see that one of the challenges Mr. Macron was facing in Africa is the fact that he has to compete for the love of the Africans. It looks like most of the Africans are tired of Western colonialism. They're already looking at Russia as a savior. Even though we don't really think Russia is a savior, but in the minds of many Africans, Russia is a savior. Okay? And you can see a speech by the president of Benin complaining about the West and supporting Russia. This is sad. Then, of course, when you look at the news this week, you can also see a lot of undercurrents. The undercurrent has to do with the competition between the United States of America as the leader of the free world versus the upstart Russia, a country that doesn't have any resources, what can Russia offer Africa? Guns, and weapons. What about food? Maybe a little bit of food, but Russia is not really offering Africa that much. So it's very, very sad.
Now more than ever, it is critical that medical facilities utilize modern, reliable electronic health records. Introducing Alexia HTC, the innovative, affordable online solution for physicians and patients. Doctors' visits, diagnoses, prescriptions, and billing have never been easier. With Alexia HTC, you can work more efficiently with the integrated flexibility medical professionals need today. Schedule a live demonstration. Call or visit us at alexiahtc.com.
Next, we'll move to Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso also is an interesting read this week. The people also are protesting. The anti-French feeling is very, very high in Burkina Faso. You have to understand, this is a country where the dream of African independence was killed. Thomas Sankara was the dream of Africa. He was the dream of his people for freedom. When the French connived with Blaise Compaoré to kill him, it put a lot of darkness in that part of the world. In fact, the guy who actually killed Thomas Sankara, Gilbert Diendéré, we hear he committed suicide today in prison. And Blaise Compaoré now is back. Damiba, the new president of the junta in Burkina Faso, has brought Blaise Compaoré back from Ivory Coast. He's trying to make some kind of peace. And it looks like Damiba is a better politician than a military guy, because the problem with insurgency and jihadists is growing in his country and he doesn't know how to handle it. And it looks like he's tilting towards Russia already. And the West is very suspicious of him. As a result, Damiba seems to have recruited another bad guy who is a Jewish guy. His name is Ben Ari Menashi. Let me repeat the name again. Ben Ari Menashi. Okay? Ben Ari Menashi. This is a guy that is very, very popular in security circles. He was the guy who brokered the Iranian deal for the Americans, so he's a really tough guy in international politics. All the dark room politics, he does it. Immorality is his stock in trade. So don't forget his name. I'm going to repeat it one more time. Ben Ari Menashi. Okay? It looks like Damiba wants to use him to see how he can lobby Washington so that he can get some favors. But will this work? We ask you to keep watching. Next, we'll move to the Central African Republic. It looks like there is some form of rapprochement with the United Nations. For a long time, because of the civil war and the armed conflict in the country, the United Nations had put an armed embargo in the Central African Republic. It looks like they are lifting it partially. So will this help the people? We just have to think and see whether it's going to help the people. The place is still awash with weapons, so we don't even think the embargo was effective. What we are saying is, at least let us have some peace in this part of the country. There have been some floods, and we hope things can really change. Migrants and refugees are really having a tough time in this country, and we are paying attention to the Central African Republic. It is already moving into the Russian orbit. The Wagner Group is dominating already in this part of the world. So you see the fight for the scramble for influence in the Central African Republic. You have the Russians on the one hand with the Wagner Group. The Wagner Group is a group of mercenaries, right? We've talked about them so many times on this show. They operate right inside the Kremlin. That's where they get their directives. Okay? Then when you look at Ethiopia, this week, Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister of Russia, was in Ethiopia. What was he doing there? He's trying to court favor. We keep hearing in the Western press that Russia is isolated. But Russia is fighting the isolation big time. They are sending their emissaries everywhere in the world where they can get an audience. They want Africans to fall in love with Russia. And they are telling Africans that Russia is not responsible for the food crisis in the world. America is. And it looks like Africans are buying it. So you can see the Assistant Prime Minister of Ethiopia listening to Mr. Lavrov, and they gave him a royal treatment, red carpet. I saw that and I was like, wow. Because Guinea, you know, there's been a coup d'etat in Guinea, and Muhammadu Doumbouya has been ruling the country. But the people have been protesting because they are not happy with the way he's managing the return to civilian rule. They feel the transition is not really going on well. It needs to be more transparent. But of course, the junta is a dictatorship. So the people are really fighting Muhammadu Doumbouya, okay? Then we saw a video too which made us remember Mozambique. You guys remember Samora Machel. He talks about colonialism. He is against colonialism. We don't have much time to repeat what he did for his country, but he was a freedom fighter who was killed because of the connivance of the South Africans, okay? But he fought for his country, and his group, the Frelimo, were very, very active in the liberation movement of Mozambique, and we really admire this individual because he was a true leader, because he believed in his people and he fought for his people.
Hey yo, Shape, I thought you was gonna take me to this place so I could get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you're searching for a house, call up my man Prince Ojong, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy Shape. When I say his services are the best in the states, word is born. He even take care of your tax forms, fat refunds. So come, get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing, no waiting. This man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131.
Next, we go to Nigeria. There's a lot of stories on Nigeria we're going to talk about today, and you know we love talking about Nigeria. But I think the most interesting story is Alika Ogochukwu, a Nigerian of Igbo extraction, who was killed in Italy. He was beaten to death. He was a street vendor in Italy, and he was selling his wares, and somebody who was big came and beat him while people were looking, and nobody interfered. Nobody even tried to help this guy. They killed him. They beat him until they killed him. So you ask yourself, is this the price we have to pay to live abroad, away from our countries? This is really sad. And when you look at a country like Nigeria, so much insecurity is going on. In fact, this week there has been a whole lot of talk about impeaching Muhammadu Buhari as president. He has just a few months to go. He's complaining that he's tired. But even people in the APC party, which is the president's own party, they want him to be impeached because they feel he's ineffective. They want him to be impeached. But what can I tell you? The beautiful ones are not yet born. The people who are going to replace Buhari, they may not even be better off. Okay? There's been complaint about vote buying, vote rigging. Atiku, Bola Tinubu, both of them are guys who are stealing the election. They are using money to buy the election. Some of you have sent us information talking about this, and we're seeing it now in black and white. This week, there's so much noise. People are complaining about the money, the amount of money these guys are bringing to buy the election. And the people are asking, where is Bola Tinubu getting all this money? Where is Atiku Abubakar getting all this money? Well, this is money that they have stolen from the country, and they are using it now to run for the presidency. But the people are watching. Look at the people that are going to vote for president. Then they will expect Nigeria to be better off. Nigeria will not be better off. In fact, we have a video that 3 of you guys sent to us. It shows a guy from the north who is offering solutions to Nigeria's problems. And we don't really have much time to talk about this video, but you can watch it just for a few minutes. A guy from the north, he's talking about the way Nigeria can be reorganized so that things can work better, so that they can fight poverty. Because that's the essential problem in Nigeria. Poverty and the problem of electricity.
And the honest truth to me is simple. That we can accuse each other, we can point fingers. The question is, who is actually better off? I'm a northerner, I'm from Kano State. And I had been accused by colleagues and brothers in a very civil political discussion of dominating the polity, dominating the economy, and dominating the security. So I asked the question, if I dominate the polity, I have the president. Yes, I have the executive council and appointees that are constitutional, just like every other state. But what is my economic situation? And what is my security situation today? So the question is it working for me if I dominate somebody? It's not.
Next, we'll move to Senegal. We've always looked at Senegal as a stable country. Not anymore. There's a whole lot of protests going on. Macky Sall is becoming a dictator. He has disqualified at least 2 popular candidates, people that he thinks will challenge him for the presidency. He has eliminated them. He doesn't want them to run. Is that democracy? No, sir. Macky Sall, get lost. Next, we'll move to South Africa. South Africa has a whole lot of issues. Corruption, corruption, corruption. When Jacob Zuma was kicked out of the presidency, people thought they had resolved the issue with corruption in South Africa. Cyril Ramaphosa came and people had a lot of hopes. But it looks like the ANC is losing its flavor. The people are losing interest in the ANC party because they feel that this party is not really taking care of the needs of black people. From the apartheid days, the ANC was perceived to be the People's Party. Not anymore. Right now, the People's Party is the EFF of Julius Malema. And that's why Julius Malema is rising. His profile is growing in that country and people are admiring him because he represents a new form of leadership. This is a leadership that will come in and worry about South Africa's problems of unemployment. The only silver lining we see in South Africa this week is in a wide area, we understand that there have been a whole lot of energy, power, solar energy. The city where you have a lot of white people, there's only white. So up to today, you still have cities in South Africa where you only have white people. There, you have no power problems because they are depending on solar energy. And they provide solar energy all over the area where the white people live. But the black people are the ones suffering. Lastly, we have to talk about Sudan. Sudan is having a whole lot of problems. The people kicked out Omar Bashir, thinking that they're going to have a new era of democracy. With the help of Russia, Al-Fatah al-Burhan took power in that country. He did a new coup and seized power from the people, and now he's giving all the gold of Sudan to Russia. So when people think that the West is bad, is Russia better? I don't think so. Our people are just gullible and naive. Russia is stealing all the resources of the Sudan, all the gold. We said this more than 4 weeks ago, but this week there's a major report on CNN just focusing on what we are reported. So I get the impression that after CNN watched our video, they went ahead and did a major investigation and they found out that what we were saying was true. Russia is stealing all the gold in Sudan. So how can Africa be rich? Africa will never be rich because our leaders are corrupt, then they allow foreigners to steal our resources. We think we've come to the end of our show, and we thank you for watching and for following up. We have a lot of new things that we're working for you, so just be prepared. Next week, we're going to announce a whole lot of details of the new programs. Bye-bye. May God bless you.
Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, that's why we created AlexiaHTC.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. AlexiaHTC.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing, tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.